Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video on the channel. So 1 month later with the MacBook Air M4, I have it in that brand new sky blue color, which a lot of people are calling barely blue. And it's true to a certain extent, it is barely blue. There isn't actually too much blue in it. Um, but I like it either way. In certain lighting conditions, it does look more blue than other lighting conditions. But I've really been enjoying using this MacBook overall, not just the color, but just overall the MacBook experience has been a really good experience, honestly. I'm coming from Windows. I recently I made the switch to Mac OS. I have the Mac Mini now, as you can see. I've got the Mac Mini. I use it as my desktop computer. The majority of my video editing, the videos you see on the channel, are made using the Mac Mini. But I have edited 1 or 2 videos on the MacBook Air M4, and in this video I just want to share with you my views on this. How's it been using it for the last month or so? I know there's not too many changes since the M2 and M3 series of chips in the MacBook Air. But I just want to give my user perspective. Actually, how has it been using this? Because it's been a lovely device. I must say that it has been an incredible experience actually using this MacBook. It's very portable. It is very light and portable. It's just really nice and compact. You can just pick it up with one hand and you don't actually feel it too much. So when you compare this to the MacBook Pro in the 14-inch, there is quite a big difference in my opinion. I think definitely you're getting a slimmer body. There is it is a very slim body, very slim chassis there, and overall it's a lovely chassis as well. Just that cold feeling, that cold touch you get with the MacBook. It's an experience you don't get with any other laptop. It's just so nice to be able to hold it with one hand, and overall it's a really premium. Just opening it up, it's just so nice to open up, and the keyboard, the trackpad, everything about it just screams premium. And it is a really pleasurable MacBook to actually use. So what do we have with this MacBook? We have the M4 chip, the binned M4 chip in this base model. This is the model which has 256 gigabytes of storage, 10 core CPU, 8 core GPU, in the 13-inch. So this is the bare bones base model, as I have with the Mac Mini. That is the base model as well, but you do get the 2 extra GPU cores in the base model Mac Mini. So I wouldn't say overall it has been, I've been missing those 2 GPU cores. I'm not doing anything crazy with my MacBook Air. It is just a general computer for me, just a general sort of email, web browsing, YouTube, content consumption device for me. So in that sense, I haven't really missed those 2 GPU cores. So because I'm not doing anything crazy with this, I'm not actually doing too much video editing with this device as well. So in general, that doesn't really affect me too much. You may want to spec this up, but I wouldn't go too overboard, because once you start speccing it up with the extra RAM, 16 gigabytes of RAM is more than enough for most people, I would say, including me. But when you start speccing it up to 24 gigabytes of RAM or 32 gigabytes of RAM, that's when I think you can get a little bit overboard, and then Apple's tax comes into effect, and you end up overpaying for a device which you don't really need to be overpaying for. I would say stick with the base model. If you need that extra storage, go for the 512 gigabyte model. Any more than that, I think, I'm not too sure if it's worth it or not. Use an external SSD. I did mention in my last video. I'll just show you the one I'm using. By the way, guys, I'm using this TomTok carry travel bag, and I'm using it for storage at home as well. If we just open this up here, let me show you my external storage. I do keep it in this bag generally. Sometimes I keep it plugged into my Mac Mini, but sometimes in this bag as well. But yeah, this is the one I'm using. It is the Samsung T7 Shield. The Samsung T7 Shield external SSD in 2 terabytes. So this is the one I'm using, and I'm using it with my MacBook Air. If I need to edit any videos on the MacBook Air, I can just transfer those files over to this. And if I use a Mac Mini, I can transfer the files onto this as well. So this is the one I'm using. Yeah, don't go too overboard in terms of storage, because I think 256 gigabytes, for me, it's enough. I can easily store about 20 of the videos which I make on this channel onto this device itself, and then anything more than that, I'll just transfer over to the external storage. So yeah, try and keep it as close as possible. If you are going to pick up the MacBook Air M4, keep it as close as possible to the base model as you can, because when you start to spec it up, then you go into MacBook Pro territory, and at that point I would say if you do want the more RAM, if you want 24 gigabytes of RAM, you're going to get that as standard in the M4 Pro MacBook Pro. So when it comes to that, then I would say just spec it up, go for the MacBook Pro. But if the MacBook Air is the right device for you, if you're using it for general things, if you're using it for, checking your emails, browsing the web, checking the news, doing some light video editing here and there as well, you can even edit 4K 30 FPS 60 FPS video on here with DaVinci Resolve, with what, in my opinion, if you're not using too many effects or anything like that, I would say you'd have no problems on this, because I did actually export a video earlier today. I did a test export and I had no problems whatsoever. It didn't even actually get too hot. The MacBook Air did stay fairly cool. I don't know about different countries. Say if you live in a country maybe like India or more exotic countries where you get more hotter weather, then you may have a bit more trouble, and at that point I would recommend a MacBook Pro. Maybe if you don't want to go for the latest model, you can even pick up last year's or a couple of years, maybe a used model, and then you could use that. At least that has that active cooling system in the MacBook, and at that point I would think that is a better option. But if you live in an environment like the UK or some parts of the USA which don't get incredibly hot, then I would say you'd be fine with the MacBook Air with that passive cooling. Even if you're doing 4K video editing at 30 or 60 FPS, it doesn't really matter too much. It can handle that. Apple Silicon, the M4 chip is incredibly efficient and powerful at the same time, so I don't think you have anything to worry about. Some things which I love is the trackpad in this MacBook Air. I do absolutely love it. It is an incredible experience using this trackpad. It's probably the best trackpad there is on any laptop on the market, in my opinion. And then the keyboard is really comfortable to type on as well. You do get that tactile experience using this keyboard here, and it is very easy to press the keys. They are nice and grippy as well. They may become a little bit shiny over time, but this is a tool. You're going to be using this for your daily task. Maybe you're a content creator, you can still use this. So if your keys get a bit shiny, which Apple keys tend to get, I don't think it's the end of the world. It is still a really comfortable typing experience on this MacBook Air. So I really love the trackpad. I really love the keyboard as well. And the screen as well, it is an LCD screen. It's not a mini LED screen. It is just an LED LCD liquid retina display, and still it does the job. It is an incredible screen, even though it isn't up to the quality maybe as of the Pros, but still, in my opinion, it does an excellent job, and it's still better than most monitors, external monitors which you can buy. It still is even more true. You get more true tone, you get a better color accuracy compared to some of those monitors. And so if this is your only device, if you don't have an external monitor, then this is a really good device. You can do video editing on this, and you can watch content on this. I've watched a few movies on this as well, and it's been absolutely fine. It's been a really good experience. The speakers are also really nice in the MacBook Air M4. They are located behind the hinge. They're not actually to the side of the keyboard which you get on the Pros. It is behind the hinge around this area here, and so it isn't as good as the Pros, but it is still really good for a laptop. So yeah, in general, the MacBook Air does a lot of things really well, and if you are doing basic tasks, it's going to handle that absolutely fine. The M4 series of chips has the fastest single core performance of any M series chip. So nothing to worry about. If you're doing web browsing, it'll open up web pages nice and fast. So you're going to get some good performance there. And if you are doing more advanced things like video editing, then I would say if you're using something like DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut Pro, iMovie, things which are better optimized, softwares which are better optimized for Mac, then you're going to have no problems, because I did edit, as I mentioned earlier, I did a test edit earlier, 60 FPS 4K, and the MacBook Air didn't even get warm, let alone hot. But if you are using a software, I was using Shotcut in the past, And if you are using something like Shotcut, which isn't as well optimized for Mac as some other softwares, I would say it will get warm, if not very hot, because I did edit a video on using Shotcut when I first got the MacBook Air. I did edit the MacBook Air unboxing video on this MacBook, and it did get extremely hot, and I'm not exaggerating there. It did get really hot, to the point where I didn't want to have it on my laps. I just put it on a table, and it got really hot, both at the top and the bottom of the device got really hot. So just something to keep in mind. It does depend on the software you're using, but if you're using something like DaVinci Resolve, I'll just open that up now. It is a really good device to use, in my opinion. So now the price has changed this year for the MacBook Airs. They are $100 less than last year, which is a really good incentive to buy the MacBook Air this year, because at $1,100 for 256 gigabytes of storage and 16 gigabytes of RAM, it's not the best deal in the world. But at $999 for that 16 gigabytes of RAM and that base storage, it is a really good deal, in my opinion, because you can actually pick this up on sale from quite a few retailers, and you're going to get a really good price. I will leave some links in the description. If you want to pick up this MacBook, then I will leave some links in the description. So if you want to actually buy it, use those links. Don't buy it from Apple directly, in my opinion, unless you want to customize something. But I would say you would get the best deal just by buying one of the generic sort of models from Amazon, from other retailers. Maybe Best Buy in the USA have some really good deals. Micro Center have some really good deals in the USA as well. But I purchased mine from Amazon. I got it for £929 here in the UK for the base model, and that was a really good deal, in my opinion. It's actually cheaper now. It's actually £915 at the moment on Amazon here in the UK. So I will try and leave some links in the description. But I would recommend, if you do want to pick up this MacBook Air M4, then use those links. Don't buy it from Apple. Buy it from Amazon, Best Buy, Micro Center, John Lewis in the UK. Buy it from those places, and you can pick up an even better deal, in my opinion. So the MacBook Air is definitely a good deal this year. And if you're looking for a general laptop, which is going to get a lot of your admin work done, if you want to pay your bills, if you want to do some web browsing, do some online shopping on Amazon or from other retailers, if you even want to do some 4K video editing, if you want to do coding, you can do everything on the MacBook Air. The MacBook Air is so good. Honestly, the M4 chip is a really good chip, and if you're using software, again, which is optimized for Mac, you're going to have no problems whatsoever. You're going to be able to do those things really well. But obviously, if you are doing some more intense things, if you're using Blender, if you're doing some other bits of work which do require a lot more CPU, a lot more GPU performance, then you know who you are anyway. You know that you're going to need something like the Mac Studio M4 Max or a MacBook Pro or the Mac Mini M4 Pro. You probably already know that you need those devices, and this is not going to be enough for you. But I have to say, for 99% of people, including myself, who is now classed as a content creator making these YouTube videos for you guys, this is enough for me. I can run this YouTube channel. I can quite confidently actually say that. I can run this YouTube channel using this MacBook Air for my video editing needs, for my emails, for my research, for everything I need to do on the channel. I can do it on here. But I just find it easier using the Mac Mini for the video editing. It has a fan. This is a fanless design, so that does kind of give me a bit more comfort knowing that it does have fans. So if I am editing a bit more intensively, maybe using 4K 60 FPS and a larger file, I may get a little bit more performance on the Mac Mini M4 compared to the MacBook Air. But for the majority of my work, I'd have no problems with the MacBook Air. If you do, I must say this on a side note, if you do have the MacBook Air M3 or M2, I wouldn't recommend upgrading to this MacBook Air M4. I would say you're still getting plenty performance with those chips, and I don't really see the need to actually upgrade to this, unless you actually want that sky blue color, which, you know, I wouldn't actually blame you for getting the MacBook Air for that sky blue color. It is really, really nice, and you are getting a bit more CPU, a bit more GPU performance with the M4. So, you know, if you do actually want to upgrade to this, I'm not going to blame you. I'm not going to condemn you for that, but I would say if you do have the M2 or M3, my recommendation would be not to upgrade to the M4. Because the overall design, most of the features are exactly the same. With the M4, you are just getting, as I mentioned, a bit more CPU, a bit more GPU performance, you know, a bit more single core performance there. It's a little bit more faster when it comes to that. But overall, those are still incredibly good laptops, and I would recommend, if you can pick up a really good deal on an M2 or an M3, probably I would recommend the M3 over the M2 now, just because you don't want to be, you don't want to outdate yourself too much. You don't want to, you want some element of future proofing there. So I would recommend, you can pick up some really good deals on M3 MacBook Airs at the moment. Even with 512 gigabytes of storage, you can pick up some good deals. But this is a really good deal as well. So if you are in the market for a new MacBook and you have an Intel MacBook, or you have you know, the M1 or something like that, then I would actually recommend picking up the M4 MacBook Air. The M1 is still pretty good, so if you don't if you don't mind that old wedge design and you actually like it, then stick with the M1. But if you want that new design of the MacBook, which is absolutely lovely, in my opinion, this is a really, really premium design to this MacBook. So if you want this design, then go for the M4, and it will be a good upgrade over the M1 even, because you're going to get that new design, you're going to get more performance, and yeah, I just overall you're going to get a few more features which you don't get on that MacBook. A better camera with center stage. I believe the trackpad is actually really nice, and the keyboard is nice. I'm not sure if there's any difference since the M1s, but I can only speak for what I have in front of me because I didn't have the M1. But this is really, really nice. Honestly, the form factor, how light it is, how it opens the hinge, and how smooth it is closing and opening the device. Honestly, it is really, really good, a really solid device overall. And yeah, I definitely would recommend it. Really good battery life as well, all day battery life. They do mention 18 hours of video playback of battery life on the MacBook Air M4. Apple do mention that. And from my experience, it has been a really good experience. I did take this to a cafe the other day as well. I'm not the type of person who normally goes to cafes with their MacBook, but now I do have the MacBook Air. I did actually go to a cafe, and I will show you some B-roll of that if I do have it. I'm sure I have it somewhere. I will show you some B-roll of me going to a cafe and using it there, which was a pretty cool experience. I don't normally take my MacBook anywhere or my laptops anywhere, and I'll just show you what I'm coming from. So this is the MacBook Air M4 13-inch, but this is where I'm coming from. Just hold on 1 second. Okay, it may have been 2 or 3 seconds, but this is the HP MV laptop which I'm coming from. It's probably taking up the whole of the screen here, but yeah, this is what I'm coming from. 17-inch HP NV laptop, and my wife is now using it for her work, so I have now handed it to her. But this is where I'm coming from, and compared to that, this is so much more compact, so much more easier to pack in a bag and transport around and take with you to coffee shops, on holiday, traveling, anywhere you go, really. This is a really good device for doing that. Just overall, it's just so compact, so nice, and it's just lovely. Honestly, it is a lovely laptop, and it will actually last you, if you pick up the M4, it's going to last you easily about 4 to 5 years in my opinion. I think, you know, you don't need to upgrade every year, but for what I do on the channel, I'm going to try and show you some of the latest tech, and I hope you appreciate these reviews. I hope you like them. I hope you find them helpful, and yeah, this is the reason why I've got this M4, is that I do actually need a laptop, but also I want to show you guys that you don't need the crazy spec'd out MacBook Pro. Even if you're a content creator, you can use the MacBook Air M4, and this can meet your needs. You can use things like the base model Mac Mini, and they will meet your needs. So there's no need to go overboard when it comes to purchasing tech. Maybe you don't need the MacBook Pro, maybe you don't need the Mac Studio M4 Max. maybe the M4 MacBook Air will meet your needs perfectly fine, and overall it is a solid laptop in my opinion. So guys, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop it a like, leave a comment in the comment section below, and as I mentioned in my last video, we are approaching 2,000 subscribers on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel. Let's get to that 2,000 mark as soon as possible. And yeah, thank you really a lot for your support. Anyone who's subscribed already to the channel, I really do appreciate your support, and please continue to support the channel, and let me know if you want to see any other videos on the channel, if you've got a topic in mind for any future videos, if you want to see any more topics regarding the MacBook Air M4, let me know in the comment section below, and I will try and make those videos for you, and I will try and help you guys out. So guys, thank you for watching the video. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.